Hey everyone. So in this video, we are going to see how to write effective instructions for the Copilot. Why the instructions matter? The first thing, because instructions are the brain of your Copilot agent. Whatever you tells the Copilot or any AI or the LLM models, it will act accordingly. So if we tell clearly what to do, it works well. If you give unclear instructions, result may be random. Right? Because see, if you think that AI knows everything, yes, it knows, but it doesn't know what you want until and unless you explicitly tell him. Correct? These are some golden rules for writing instructions. So the very first thing is be specific, because see, whenever the instructions are clear, then only it will work. If it is not clear, AI will start getting you the result based on the assumptions. Correct? For an example, just take one example. I saw some blog online that has over 2000, 3000 words. Okay. Now I don't have that much kind of time to read every word of that. So what I'll do, I'll just copy its content, go to GPT or Gemini, or I'll ask him to write a summary or give me a summary. So what's wrong in this sentence? So when I say give me a summary, AI will assume what summary actually is. It will give me a result, and that might be work for you, might not. But when I say write a summary in three bullet points about main important points to consider for me as a beginner, you will always get a result what you expect. Okay, so we don't want our AI to respond based on assumptions. It works in a real life as well. If you're talking to someone industry expert, you ask a question, if they have any doubt they cross question you again. It's not like based on a single question they give you proper response. Correct? So these instructions should be specific. Unclear instruction will only lead you to random answers. Second thing is provide context. Set role, tone, and knowledge sources. Because the context helps AI to understand the situation, audience, and the tone. Without any context, the answer may not fit the need. Whatever the question we ask, we will not get the expected outcome. Because when I was trying to learn some things, everyone faced these kind of things actually. Whenever there is some new technology you wanted to learn, first we don't have that AI, right? In earlier days, we have to manually go through every blog, every article, but that's not the case anymore, right? So if I want to try some DSC algorithm, some blockchain technologies, right? If I just go to ChatGPT and told him explain me blockchain, but he don't know whether I have experience in blockchain or not, right? But if I tell like explain me blockchain, I don't have any experience in the blockchain. I have just started as a beginner, so I saw lots of articles online, but I am getting very confused. So prepare me a plain plans, give me a summary. How should I proceed? And if you compare the result in between two, second one will be more proper and more accurate. Third point is use actionable verbs, because action word make it clear what task AI should do, right? Word like summarize, display, confirm, it better guides the AI instead of the unclear request, right? So if I give a instruction like talk about this data, tell about this data, but AI don't know na what to tell, what to talk about. But if you just say summarize this data in a table format with 3 to 4 key insights, it knows based on this data I have to summarize this data in 3 to 4 insight, and what user want is to have the data in kind of table. So you know what you want. Now AI also know, because you have already given a kind of example, we can say, and the actionable items. Fourth point is important because see, breaks into steps. Guide AI like a checklist. AI works better with a small step rather than the big unclear task. If you are planning, if you are new, it happens to me as well. When I build my first Q&A agent, I wrote every instruction in a paragraph. That didn't work for me well. But when I tried some prompt engineering, used some Copilot agent, used ChatGPT to refine my instructions, it always suggested me don't just write like paragraph, give the instructions properly, right? So take example, when you write a blog post, you don't just go to ChatGPT and tell them write a blog post. It will write a blog post based on the training data it had. But if you just say write a blog post in 1,000 to 1,200 words, focus on these keywords. In the conclusion, give the actionable item to user, boost some kind of engagement, and use some natural languages. So AI has everything: the tone that you have to use in blog post, the keyword they have to focus on it, and the expected words, 1,000 to 1,200, right? So steps are really important because they are the like checklist. If you just say everything in a paragraph, it might ended up missing some kind of instructions. So if you just say first step one, write a blog post 1,000 words. Second thing, focus on these keywords. Third thing, on the conclusion, give a 2 3 line summary. The result you will get is a lot better than the instruction that you are given in the paragraph. Fifth thing is add example, because example shows AI what exactly kind of answer you expect. Without the example, AI will assume and invent its own style. Because see, if you want to check some product online, if you want their description, what you will say, like example, like this is the product. I want the example and smartphone with the camera and slick design. So if you give the example, AI will copy that style only, right? Because see, that happens in a real life. If you want to buy some new tools or new, let's say, phone, you first go online, do some research, then you talk to your friends who already have that phone. So you give the example, right? That kind of thing. Then keep tone brief. So tone is a very important thing because based on the context as well, and the role and the tone. If you are building an agent that is just a Q&A agent, let's say, based on the knowledge sources, it gives answer to the user. So every agent is not the same basically, right? So tone is also something, because sometimes you build an agent that should have the friendly conversation with the user who are interacting with it, right? But sometimes we use the AI for a domain like finance or legal. We don't have to be friendly there. We have to be professional, because the people who are working in the finance or the legal, they don't have that much time to conversate with friendly hi, hello, goodbye, right? They want result properly, right? And the last thing is test and iterate. Because see, when you write the instructions, it might work you for the very first time, no doubt in that. But when you modify those instructions, try to check whether the instruction that I have written earlier is breaking or not, whether it's working, whether it's giving expected result. Because this happens to me a lot when I started working on these agents. When I built my first agent, I written 5 instructions. Out of 3 are working completely fine. 2 of them are not working. So I go to ChatGPT, read about it, refine my instruction. Then those 2 instructions were not working, now working correctly, but another instructions got. So you have to test your instructions every time. So it doesn't matter if you change a one line of instructions. Try to test the complete scenario, because the instructions are something that you have to modify in time to time, right? So test and iteration and refining over time is really important. Now we'll just see the some good and bad example of the instructions. First is the summarizing content. Now the bad instruction will be write a summary of this report. This is not clear, right? AI may create a random length or a focus. How we can convert this into a good instruction? The first thing, you can tell them summarize this report, okay, in 3 bullet points covering the findings and the next step. This is very clear for the AI to work on. Second is creating plans. So if you are in a marketing department, if you want to create a product launch plan or any competitor analysis you want to do, you don't just say like create a marketing plan. Here, what's the issue? It's too broad. AI don't know like what kind of plan you are looking for, whether it's a market research, whether it's a competitive analysis, right? No details, no audiences, no budget, no goal is set here. But when you say create a marketing plan for a fintech startup, here we have given specific instructions for that kind of domain only. Launching in a mobile app in the UK, the location and the device. Focus on our social media channels. And my budget is under $10,000. So AI know for whom you are building this, what's the use case, where you are launching, the location, how, and what is the limit. Correct. So these points are really important when you are giving the instructions. Don't just think like AI knows everything, but AI don't know what you want. Correct. When explaining the product, you can't just say tell me everything about the product. If you do such kind of thing, it will take an entire day for you. because AI will try to give you every single detail of that. But if you just say explain how this product help customer with their top 3 pain points, give one real example of each, right? So again, I'll just take a one previous example. If you wanted to buy a new phone, you go online, you check the description, right? But you talk to a friend who already have that phone. If you just tell him, friend, explain me everything about the product, it will take you entire day. But if you can just explain it to him like, okay, this is the product you have. I wanted to buy this product. Now, could you please tell me like, what's the three best feature? What's the camera feature of it? How performance is it? So person who is explaining you that will get a clear idea what you want, right? The AI works in the same way. Now we know why, how we can write the instructions, but what are the common mistakes to avoid? These are really important basically. So first is too vague, unpredictable result, right? So unclear instruction leads to unpredictable result. Mixing tasks confuses AI, correct? Because see, if you write a paragraph, AI don't know like which task to perform first and which to later. So instead of just break it down in a simple task in a checklist, right? So it will help AI to work perform well. Then negative only guidance, focus what to do, not just what not to do, right? So when working with the AI system specifically, you have to explicitly tell the AI in the instructions or any kind of format that these tasks I need to do, but these are also the tasks that I don't want to do. So focus 80% on what you want AI to do and 20% not to do. Correct? Second last thing is very important, assuming the hidden knowledge, right? AI has the data already on the basis of the knowledge it is being trained on. But AI only knows what you give it, correct? If you ask a question, it will give you the result. Then overlong instruction harder to follow. Again, the same point is long instruction will not help. You have to break down in a simple task, simple checklist. And these are the prompt engineering basic. Basically, you just go to Google, just type what is prompt engineering. You will get thousands of articles there. How the prompt should be written and all. These are just the key point. So first is think step by step how helps AI to logic. Assign roles, personas, set tone and style. If you want to get most of the AI, assign a role. Take an example like if you want to buy a house, you go to real estate agent. If you want to buy a car, you go to the car dealership. You can't expect real estate agent will help you buy a car and vice versa because that agent specifically know. If I am a real estate agent, I know everything about this house, how sales work, how customer wants, and how to talk to customers. If you want to buy a car, you go to the car dealership only, right? So those things also called be agent, right? Real estate agent, right? So don't think I will build one agent that will help me in everything. No, if you are doing this, then you are misunderstanding how this agent terminology is. So make an agent that solve a specific use case, that solve a specific problem, and then refine it. Use example, show the right answer format, right? Don't just give the example key, summarize this point, this is the example, I want this kind of thing. But also give what kind of format you want, right? So if you are working in a word document, if you want some comparison table, so it will be harder for you to create a table manually, create a columns and then copy paste the whole thing. Instead of just, you can just tell AI key, write this thing in a table format, it will give you a proper result. You can just copy the table and paste it in Excel or Word, it works perfectly, no issues in that. If you're working in some kind of API, if you want some dummy data, you can just ask AI to return in the JSON format. So I can just copy the entire array of object, paste somewhere, use a Power Automate flow to make some dummy entries. So this is how your thinking should be while working with this. Setting the limits is very important. Length, style, and wording, right? Because if you think and if you tell AI to write a blog, you have not specified how many articles. What generally blog, as per my knowledge, is 1,000 to 1,000 words, that will be fine, right? But if you just tell him to write 900 word blogs, you have to focus on these keywords only, you have to use this tone, so it will give you a proper result. And even though if you tell write me a 1 million character blog, it won't write because behind the scene there is a system called as tokens. Specific token, you can consider it as a limit basically. Every time you work with AI, it gives you a response. There are some tokens are generated. So there is a limitation. So don't just think if I tell AI to write a million words of article, it will write. No, that's not the case. You have to use the prompt like it, so it will give the proper result, right? And the final thing is iterate and testing is really important. Keep refining until it works, right? So any modifications you do in the instruction, test the entire process. If you have time, test the entire process, focus on everything that you have changed. Then these are some responsible AI principle. Now these are from the Microsoft only, and they are nothing but them you have to follow in Copilot itself. Every AI application you build, you have to follow these kind of principles. So as a developer, it's our responsibility that our AI should follow these things like fairness. We have to avoid some bias, reliability and safety, privacy and security. User data is very important, right? Inclusiveness, so that should be accessible to all. Transparency, explain source and its limits. So transparency, because see, whenever you chat with ChatGPT, if you ask Copilot, it gives the references from where it took that answer, when it gives you, so that we are transparent. So we can just click on that article and see, okay, the AI written this answer, but yes, this is already written on that official website. So transparency is really important. Accountability means human remaining control. Now accountability here is you built an agent, you publish that agent to customers, and they are working on it. Now it's responsibility of the AI to generate an answer, get a generative response, right? But even anything goes wrong, it is you who that created that agent, it is who you gave the instructions to that agent, right? So it's your accountability. So these factors always you have to follow while working with the AI systems. Now as a beginner, I will say these are some next item for you. First, start small. Don't try to build something already there. If you saw some agent that took the entire team 3 months, if you're planning, I will also invest 3 months in that and I'll build an agent like this. Don't do that. If you have not built such kind of thing earlier, starts with small concept. So start building agents for your personal use. Starts with the declarative agent. Declarative, that means Q&A agents. Then use the sandbox testing for Copilot Studio, right? So you can create an agent in both ways. In a Copilot Studio, you have 30 days trial. In the agent builder, that is a light experience basically, you also create an agent. Earlier versions, only licensed user can create them, but everyone can create them now. The only thing is, licensed user can share it. User who don't have license can not share it. But yes, it is only available for them only. Then collaborate with subject matter expert. Now, why these things are important? Because see, if you are building some AI agents, right, for finance domain, for the legal domain, you wanted to help in that people. So what you can do, you have options like you go to ChatGPT. We have the researcher agent as well in the Microsoft Copilot that will do a complete research for you. So you will get everything what will be the day in the life of the finance person, in the legal person. But what happen if you talk to a real person who is already in that team? You will get a clear understanding and a better clarity what that user is currently facing, right? So talking to that specific person is really important. Add the feedback loop as well, because see, whenever you build any application, and it's not for AI obviously, any application you play, don't just assume that's the same application users are going to use in the next 20, 30 years. You always have to keep improve it. So in the Copilot, we already have that logs capability and the activities section. I'm not going into much technical detail, but yes, based on the activity, you can see how your users are interacting with it. What are the engagement rate of theirs, right? So if user ask a question, does AI is able to provide the accurate answer or the specific answer to it or not, right? Now the last and very important thing, don't over engineer, because see, clarity beats complexity. So this is all about how you can write the effective instructions for the AI, why those are important, and the responsible AI principles. If you have any question, any doubts in this, you can drop a comment below. If you found this video helpful, you can share it anywhere, LinkedIn, or and just like the video. Thank you.